My fellow readers, I, Dark Symphony 777 with a fanfiction reading. As always, a link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the story and any future fanfictions you want me to read or review. So, we're going into the world of One Piece, and with me, I have my lady friend, Perona, right here. She's right here. I just wait for the picture to load, and she's ready to like stick her tongue at people. As we all know, Perona is best ghost waifu. I mean, is she? No, she's a person. She just has powers with ghost and stuff like that. So, you know, I have Perona with me. Hold on. I like her laugh. It's a very unique laugh. I don't know. But this story has nothing to do with Perona. She's just here for moral support. This has to do with this story. In the Absence of a Ruler. It's written by Zaatao. I'm not even going to attempt to try and pronounce it again. And it says, Arlong has returned to the Grand Line, has entered the New World, and is looking for easy and fat targets. Needless to say, he found one. Only time will tell which kingdom he has invaded. One shot takes place during the second act of the Wano arc. Rated for a bit of violence. I'm going to guess, since that's there, he's on Whole Cake Island. Because we all know that when people think of Whole Cake Island, they're gonna think of Katakuri. He's probably the best part of Whole Cake Island, in my opinion. I haven't really got there in the anime. But I know I've been, ever since, Katakuri was introduced in the manga, I've been hearing so many things about him. He's so awesome, he's so this, he's so that. He has a ridiculous power that he somehow makes look cool. He has the power of mochi. I'm dead serious. Mochi's like rice cake thingy. Yeah, but this guy makes it look cool. So, and of course, anyone who's kind of been an old school fan kind of knows who Arlong is. So he really has no introduction. Neither does Katakuri. Let's get started. In the Absence of a Ruler. Oh wait, this is just repeating that. That's kind of stupid. Okay. First sortie had gone as expected. The defending forces were on the run, and the riches of the small harbor town was ripe for the taking. Pretty much everything had gone according to plan. Leaving behind their vessel, the crew had advanced unnoticed across the seafloor, before emerging from the waves, destroying whatever feebly resistance the locals could muster. One grama era. In his heart of hearts, Arlong the Saw, captain of the Arlong pirates, thanked his lucky stars that they met that fetching mermaid, who showed them the best way into these waters, avoiding all the sentries and letting them penetrate deep into this kingdom's territory undetected. So they ran into Shirahoshi? At least it's better than that Hody Joan is like, Princess, kidnap her. He's like, Princess, which way do we go? That way, everyone, that way. Okay, and with only weak humans for opponents, this part was easy pickings. I sense danger on the horizon. And it was a prime target to boot. Rich and far removed from the border, it made little sense to post a vast number of troops there, so the rulers had let security slip. I think it was more... Did anyone really want to go on the island where Big Mom was? Or they could have been on the island where Capone was stationed, and, without Capone, it's like... Well, not to mention, like, half Big Mom pirates are in Wano. I'm surprised Sparrow hasn't died yet, because, he's missing an arm, and the arm's made of candy. Yeah, I wonder what happened. I want to see, off topic. Just for what's going on in Wano right now, with spoilers for Wano arc, Big Mom has amnesia. Will we see any of the Big Mom pirates join the Straw Hats? Maybe. I mean, everyone, the moment Big Mom got amnesia, people were thinking, oh, when she teams up, where Katakuri is going to join the crew. But Katakuri is still on Whole Cake nursing his injuries. I mean, we're probably going to get Pudding? No. Pudding would be too OP. Not to mention, she's not really a fighter. Smoothie? I mean, maybe Smoothie. We could get Smoothie. That'd be pretty nice. I like Smoothie. She's something else. And you know, everything like that. A lot of people just want Katakuri because, you know, it's Katakuri. I mean, but I don't think Katakuri's character to really leave his family behind. Praline's gone. Praline's gone to Fishman Island. I can see Brulee joining with the Mirror Fruit. I could see Brulee kind of joining them, but I don't know. I don't know what happened after the fight. I think she was either kidnapped or something happened. I don't know. For all I know, she's more than likely with Katakuri right now. So you know, stuff like that. I don't know, we're probably gonna get some member of the Big Mom Pirates, at least temporary, joining the One Piece crew. My bet's on Smoothie. Not on Katakuri. I mean, because, you know, we haven't seen what Smoothie can do. Maybe Amane, the snake hair girl, mainly because, you know, she has the sword. She has like one of the legendary swords that, you know, that Zoro's probably gonna grab. That, you know, Zoro would be fine, but maybe, I don't know. Let's get back to the story. Rich and far removed from the border, it made little sense to post even. Oh, I already read this. Arlong smiled as his men beat back the few soldiers that emerged to repel his attack. And while they did manage to wound a few of his men, his brother's fisherman straight was winning out. Sha 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 sha. Attack, brothers! Attack! Destroy these mewling humans. Show them that the fishermen will take this treatment no longer. Arlong, weren't you beaten up by a rubberman? Like, really, well, not really easily, because, like, Arlong was the first true test of Luffy. Then again, he was, like, the last opponent for East Blue. So I guess that's true. Brandishing his blade, the captain leapt into the thick combat, slashing left and right, felling foes with each swing. Arlong's smile deepened. This was what he has missed. Not just using his sword after that pesky Straw Hat had destroyed it. Aha! But making the humans pay for their actions. They made slaves of fishmen, used them as gladiators and for entertainment, looked down upon them and taken away their rightful lace. So, author, let me ask you this. So you're saying in this story, Arlong's upset because they turned fishermen into gladiators, entertainment, and shoelaces. Are they like shoelaces or something like that? Anyway, 2 gramadas at the top of the pyramid of power, and he was avenging that injustice. Each time he cleaved a foe, it was yet another step towards victory, towards vengeance, and it felt glorious. Sorry, off topic. Arlong, we beaten them, Chu howled at him from behind, as he wiped his mouth from all the projectiles he spat at the foe. Arlong shook his head violently, the bloodlust that had filled his mind lifting, while it had felt good. He knew he had to have a clear head for the next phase of the plan, to attack the next island, and then the next after that. Recent events had made this kingdom vulnerable. And so it wasn't that it was merely a raid his crew was conducting, but full-out conquest. A certain mochi guy is gonna stop you. And I will be calling it. A lot of things had played into his plans for this operation. The Whitebeard War had set a lot of crazies loose on the seas, and Blackbeard had arisen as a new Yonko. Chaos was all over the place, and had made easy pickings for some of the islands, but it had soon been prudent to get some fresh blood for their further plans. Revelry was nigh, so the seas would swarm with more pirates and stupid marines than regularly. Marines he couldn't bribe was the worst, all trying to make sure that the rulers of this and that nation was transported safely to Meridois, to the capital of slaves and the symbol of humanity's crimes. The re-emergence of the Straw Hat Pirates and their actions on his own beloved Fishman Island had set his crew on the path to the New World, and it wasn't just vengeance. Although ripping Straw Hat to shreds after their battle in East Blue, more than anything, Arlong wanted what was his back. Little Nami wasn't someone he could allow stay in Straw Hat's hands. She was one of his brethren. She belonged with them. The Straw Hats only caused trouble, be it in Alabasta, Fishman Island, or in Dressrosa. Always trouble. Never looting or stealing. How they managed to get Nami to stay with them was beyond him, because, it could be because all the other pirates just ignore the loot, and Nami's like, ooh, money. Money, and her breast. And with more she's getting more money, her breasts are slowly growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, don't blame me, blame the anime. Blame the manga and the anime for her boobs constantly getting bigger. Probably did like he did when she grew up. He told Straw Hat all about it after all, and then he'd gone crazy angry for some reason. Arlong had realized afterwards that he'd gotten soft while lounging back in East Blue. Not surprising, it was the weakest of the seas, so naturally he'd grown weaker too. East Blue gave us Luffy, it gave us Gold Roger. You know what I think about? If East Blue's the weakest, which one's the strongest? South Blue? West Blue? North Blue? Southeast Blue? All Blue? I don't know. That had gotten to the point that he could lose to a human, however, was beyond him. As soon as he escaped the blasted Marines and gathered his men, Arlong had seen to it that they had been ready, not just to take vengeance on the Straw Hats and get Nami back, but also to get back to the goal of dealing with a lethal blow upon humanity. A fitting return for mankind's wickedness to all other species and tribes. If he could manage to unite his strength with Hode's, that had been ideal. But before his crew was finished gathering new fishermen recruits on the Grand Line, the Straw Hats had defeated Hode and his crew. Arlong didn't doubt that they had King Neptune and his sons do all the dirty work, and the negative side effects, that needs to be spaced right there, 3 grammar errors. The energy steroids had hindered Hode and his officers as well. Though he didn't for the life of us understand why anyone would need steroids. They were fishermen. They were strong enough. Because they all thought they'd turn into Triple H. Yeah, it's all time to play the game. And the Straw Hats hadn't stopped there. They stolen Big Mom's candy supply and called down her wrath upon his homeland. It could have been destroyed if Neptune hadn't sent her his Tamatibako as an appeasement present, only for the hag to demand twice the amount the next month. All that was what he had been told by the stragglers of the new fisherman pirates that his crew annexed into their ranks, all young, strong, and with a healthy hatred for the human race. It almost made it tolerable that some of his own kind had been defeated by some mere humans. 4 grammar errors. Looking around, he smiled even more as his new recruits set fire to one of the old odd structures that dotted land. The new kid Hammond and his little group had proved to be especially trigger-happy. While Arlong was enjoying the sight of the group taking aim at a group of retreating soldiers, he almost didn't notice Kurobe approach him. Arlong, the Ray Fishman called out as a way of greeting, his tone serious, and when Arlong saw his face, he could tell the man didn't bring good news. What is it? I've been thinking, Kurobe stalled, a bead of sweat running down his forehead. Perhaps it's best if we left when we got in the plunder. Left? But this is just the beginning, Arlong. Arlong responded with a triumphant expression. His arms spread wide. We're gonna dominate this trashy human nation. Human? There's other races here too, you know, one of his men called from the side. Arlong recognized his musician Pissarro. I'm not so sure about that. There was a bunch of snake necks leading the troops a moment ago, almost riddled them full of holes. It's still led by a human, Arlong retorted with a confident smile, self-assured that even a ruler as strong as the one would bow before the might of the fisherman's rage. I mean, Big Mom. Let's just talk about this. Big Mom got her first bounty when she was 5. And she's basically a kid, about a 60-year-old woman with a 5-year-old mentality. Yeah, Arlong. I like to actually see that, just Arlong meet Big Mom and Big Mom just swatting him and just sending him flying. That'd be hilarious. And we get shenanigans like that. Let's see. Still led by wait, okay. I'm not so certain about that one, Arlong. Kurobi continues, still concerned. This is the new world after all. Weird things happen all the time here. Just look at the soldiers. Normal humans don't crumble like biscuits, Arlong. So they were fighting Cracker. Okay, they were fighting Cracker. Then again, Cracker isn't really that good a soldier. He's more an endurance fighter than anything. He's plenty strong, but he's more of a guy who just constantly swarms these biscuit soldiers until they wear down. But consider the fact this is during Wano, and Cracker's not exactly 100%. It's understandable that he wouldn't be able to do his abilities to the fullest extent. Keep in mind, Luffy and Cracker fought for 11 hours straight. If you actually read the manga, they fought for 11 hours straight. So, and most of that was more Luffy having to constantly get his energy back from eating the Cracker soldiers that Cracker was creating. So again, Charlotte Cracker is more of an endurance fighter than actually wanting to fight. He's just survive long enough for them to wear us, and then just overwhelm them. Let's see. Okay. Let's get back to the story. I'm getting off topic long enough. Okay. And what of it? Arlong continued with a smile, putting an arm around his old friend. It's the new world. Weird things happen all over the place. He pulled Kurobi close. What's weird here, he waved his other hand at the island and the devastation of Korean Rock, is that we didn't do this sooner. Listen to Arlong-san, brother, one of their comrades called out, smiling as he ripped the biscuit head off one of the native soldiers, laughing gleefully as he quenched his hunger on its jam-like innards. At least Kurobi smiled a little, exhaling in relief. Yeah, you're right. He took a moment to wipe the sweat from his brow. Guess I was just nervous since we're invaded more grammar errors, 5 grammar errors, 6 grammar errors. Invading and get rid of one of the M's. That's 5 grammar errors. Arlong had just time enough to see where the fishman lookout was pointing, barely spotting some unknown projectile as it dashed through the air before it landed with a thunderous crash, making a crater in the street and almost knocking Arlong and his officers off their feet in the process. Most of his newer underlings ended on their backs. What the heck? Hamon stammered, staring into the cloud of dust that is erupting from the ground. Surrender. It was at this moment that Arlong knew he fucked up. A voice came from the crater, level and calm as a perfect sea breeze in the east blew, but something in it made it feel like a storm was about to emerge, or face me in combat. Combat it is, Arlong said with a smile, but his confidence faltered as the figure took a step and fully emerged from the hole. Most of his officers reacted similarly. It wasn't every day something that huge stood before them and challenged them too. A bit over 5 meters tall, he's classified as being around 16 feet. Clad in leather and spikes, the figure was almost as imposing as Jinbei, but Arlong could also see that the figure was covered in bandages, especially around the stomach where he could see that the man before him had been wounded grievously. A mortal wound on a normal man, but this particular man wasn't normal, even Arlong would admit as much. So you're in command of the counterattack, I reckon. Arlong smiled as he looked upward to stare in the eyes of his next conquest. The red-headed warrior looked back at him with a strange serenity. Correction. I am the counterattack. Enter Charlotte Katakuri, the watching man himself. Arlong laughed. So did his men. Even if the warrior had been accompanied by a dozen heavily armed giants, he wouldn't have stood a chance against the Arlong pirates. And they were sure to let him know. There is no giants in Tattleland. Huh? Arlong looked at the man in surprise, the wheels in his head spinning. What the heck is he on about? You! The warrior pointed at his startled shoe. Oh wait. Katakuri said there is no giants in 6 grammar errors. There are no giants in Tattleland. That's what he has to say. There are. So 6. You, the warrior pointed at a startled Shu, were about to say that I needed giants to help you fight. Right before that one he pointed at him and would aim his gun at me, and that one he pointed at Kurobi would say that he knew it. The warrior lowered his arms, not even bothering to put up a defense before the fisherman. His arrogance was setting Arlong's teeth on edge. That's because Katakuri can see into the future. He is, of course, correct. Attacking Tattleland, even when Mama's away, is a perilous, and for you, get rid of that A, 7 grammar errors, and for you, he nodded at Arlong directly, staring him down with his almost smoldering gaze. A quite disastrous undertaking. Why you? Arlong snarled angrily, whipping out his sawtooth blade, clutching the handle tightly. We're fishermen. The warrior finished for him. That much is obvious. What is less obvious to me is why you think that naturally makes you the winner against a, to use the words you yourself were going to use, mere human, no matter how big. Arlong's eyes twitched as his men drew backwards from the warrior, unnerved by his mannerism. So, rumors about your hockey mastery were correct, eh, Charlotte Katakuri? We all know it was Katakuri. Arlong said, looking barefully at the humongous warrior before smiling, using his most mocking tone. That it is also true. Yes, I did indeed lose. 8 grammar errors. Get rid of one of the O's. To Straw Hat Luffy, Katakuri interrupted and calmed. That was in the newspapers. That much isn't rumor or exaggeration. Stop, man! Stop interrupting me! At his shout, Arlong's man started drawing a little away from him as well. Sighing, the second son of the Charlotte family tilted, cocked an eye. Wait. Sighing, the second son of the Charlotte family tilted and 8 grammar errors. Add and. Cocked an eyebrow at the fisherman before him, judging the worth of the smaller pirate. I've heard about you too. He nodded at the pirate before him. Arlong the Saw, formerly of the Sun Pirates, whom we have in custody, now back in his own Arlong Pirates, a notable island amongst fishermen and merfolk alike. At the unexpected praise, Arlong and his men smiled, more than a shred of confidence returning. No, by saying that I do not acknowledge the fisherman race's superiority over humans. That is ludicrous. Katakuri looked down at Hammond as he spoke, catching the yellow-skinned pirate off guard. Despite Katakuri's patiently berating tone, the sweet commander was still very much intimidating simply by being. That's because he's motherfucking Charlotte Katakuri. He is the most awesome pirate ever. I don't care who you are. Katakuri is walking, talking awesome. I was simply listing who he is. Again, Katakuri nodded at a fuming Arlong. And thus, whatever reasons Mama would be interested in acquiring you as an underling or even as a son-in-law. Arlong sputtering at this. Marry a daughter of Big Mom? Of a human? I mean, we got Charlotte Praline. Who's half fisherman. And being their underling too, should I wash that stinking human's whales or clothes or fetch her candy? Picture candy. On that matter, at least we agree, Katakuri responded just before Arlong could voice his outrage. The huge man's voice had finally begun to show some emotion, which unfortunately was anger, but Arlong didn't care. His rage was far too great at this point. Would you shut the hell up, he roared, and leveled his sword at the other pirate. His rage was starting to get better of him. He knew that, and so did his officers, giving him an uneasy look, which was nothing compared to what the new recruits were looking at him with. The newbies would learn that they had nothing to fear from Arlong, but as Katakuri was about to realize, that did not include their... Wait. 9 grammar errors. Switch those around. That did not include their enemies, especially one that dared stand there and talk about marrying him off to some filthy human girl. I'm sick and tired of hearing your stupid voice. I'm not marrying one of... Arlong's rant was cut brutally short by a lightning fast jab by Katakuri, snapping the fisherman's head back and forcing him back. The fishman didn't even register what happened, but he knew that feeling that spread through his face and skull. 1. A worthless human had dared to attack him. 2. His nose has been broken. Again. 3. An almost precognitive feeling that someone was going to get hurt fatally. Resetting his nose with a curse, Arlong snarled at Katakuri, who looked back at him with something approaching contempt. That was a warning. You were about to say something extremely untrue. None of my sisters are filthy. I mean, I like Smoothie. I mean, I would hug her. I would hug her thighs. Ugh. Those thighs, man. Smoothie's thighs. Why am I getting off topic talking about a 15-foot tall woman's thighs? I don't know. The huge man admonished him, looking down at him like any other human would a fisherman, which only proved to Arlong that before him stood a man that wasn't a dime better than any other human on the seas. And you, he stared Arlong down like he would a piece of garbage. Your views. The way he pronounced that last word was reminiscent of how a priest would denounce wickedness or the most foul sins, are as far removed from Mama's goals as could possibly be. Again, Arlong gritted his teeth, but he allowed him to continue, for as soon as the pair met in battle, he pulverized the monologuing warrior, make him rue every last shred of his arrogance. This is Tato Land, Katakuri said with the power of a storm as he stretched his arm wide around him. The land that does not discriminate, where all races are equal. He let his arm fall to his wounded side. Your blatant racism will not be allowed here. Sure it will. When I conquered it! Arlong snarled, finally having lost his patience with the human before him. Charging at the huge warrior, Arlong moved faster than a lightning bolt, making a furious swing at Katakuri's wounded side. The second son of the Charlotte family... 9 gram errors. You misspelled Charlotte right there. Did not even make the attempt to avoid the strike. He didn't have to. Just as the sawtooth sword was about to serve for his arms and bite deep into his skin, his form changed and a golden spear shaft emerged from Katakuri's body. The two weapons met with a loud clang before it turned into a screech as Katakuri held the polearm against Arlong's blade, who tried with every fiber of his muscular form to force the edge into the bandaged abdomen. Arlong soon grew tired, but he smiled when he saw the spear being forced to move. 10 errors, you added an extra A. The smile disappeared when he realized the spear wasn't what was moving, but Katakuri's arms. The spear shaft stayed put, held firm as his wielder simply met it pass through his advancing arm. The next thing Arlong knew was that Katakuri's fist was far larger when it slammed into his face, his long nose passing in between the gloved fingers. When he came to, he realized several things. 1. A worthless human had dared to attack him again. 2. His nose was the only part of his face that hadn't been broken and bloody this time around. The irony. 3. Most of his body was buried in the ground. 11 errors. Number 4. You now have 11 errors. You added an extra R. And 12 errors. After digging himself out, a small part of him started to feel very sorry that he'd come to Toddleland. The realization that one had just been punched 18 meters through the earth would do that to most people, even Arlong. The sight of his men either rushing toward him with fear in their eyes or be battered aside by Katakuri's counterattack also helped. Arlong, the Chew yelled as he hoisted him by the arm. We gotta get the heck away from that guy. He looked back as Katakuri had begun his advance towards them, his spear bloody from the men he defeated already. The sight drove Arlong to grip his sword tighter, greatly worrying his men. You can't be serious, Arlong, Kurobi muttered as he looked from his captain to their opponent. That guy massacres. He won't get lucky 3 times in a row, Arlong howled, giving his whole friend a savage glare, before looking at each of his men in turn. We gotten stronger on the Grand Line. No mere human can defeat us if we're ready for them. An interesting theory, Katakuri responded with a devastating calmness, it's 13 errors. Simply, not simple, but simply multiplying your bounties by 10 isn't a sign that becomes strong enough to handle the new world. So our reputations precede us. Arlong smiled confidently. His men mirrored his smile, albeit reluctantly in some cases. He too showed them they were invincible. Mama's information network is second to none. And after the Straw Hats were here, I decided not to make the same mistake twice. But I have yet to see a reason to worry, as well as find out how you managed to bypass our security system. As if that's hard. Straw Hat managed to do it, and anything he could do, I could do better. Arlong smiled, once again charging at the second son of the Charlotte family. Murder shining in his eyes. Later. Someone broke in and freed the Sun Pirates from the prison. Yeah, big brother, someone did, Mascarpone conceded, visibly miffed that he hadn't been able to finish his report to Katakuri. It's Praline. Katakuri simply stated, not even taking his eyes away from the retreating Arlong pirates. The beaten and battered formed in an even greater state of ruin than the town they attacked. Sorry.
So, what do you think of Katakuri? Yeah. This is basically what most people react to Arlong thinking, hey, I can beat Katakuri, to just like, yeah. Hey, what are you doing here? Meryl, get the One Piece stuff. You're not One Piece monster mistake. Get out of here. Alright. People more than kingdom. I tell them this is Yes. Moscone nodded. His mood looked chopsticks spoony. Run again. One last single breath. Katakuri, big eyes. might only like go you would be capable to lead. Bobby Curry pit his opponent, and again, everyone wants to tell. And that's why I was one who something that it would now. So had it after and in the air these days. And in what case, so Bobby Curry would readily invest Curry to what she had dreamed that with her and their successors. No matter what to she sure Curry you didn't tell me how much on the his little brother idea is just basically our I probably missed a couple. So that's my review on it. Absolutely been dark